So for those of you who are joining us for the first time this year, I want to walk you through our triggers journey up to this point. So we are going to preview pieces of our first year with triggers in 2021. And then we will preview our second year with triggers in 2022. And for 2023, we are creating a Triggers Edutainment series, which will basically take ideas from the first year and the second year and put them in a space to where we are now creating jobs for our youth, opportunities for them to be in front of the camera, opportunities for them to be behind the camera and learn how to work the camera, opportunities for them to write scripts, opportunities for them to use their musical skills to create soundtracks, right? So this is not just about from the heart as much as it is about our communities, because for those of you who are watching this, if you're watching this and if you're here on night number one, it's because you've made it to a certain point in your life where you have escaped certain perils, right? So we're doing this for them. This isn't for us. This is ultimately for them. So please join us as we travel through this journey of triggers and be a part of this triggers legacy that we're creating.
The U.S. Surgeon General issued a rare advisory late last week saying the status of youth mental health in our nation has been made worse by this pandemic.
ER visits for suicide attempts in 2020 up more than 50% for adolescent girls compared to 2019.
And the Surgeon General is calling this a significant public health challenge and
trying to help. It takes courage to talk about something as uncomfortable as mental health.
I began addressing my own struggles, right, in mental health about 5 years ago.
Courage Halim Ali found in himself and is now trying to help others muster.
Timely. Halim, thank you for being here. We love having your voice on the show.
You know, what I brought today was more than just my opinion. I wanted to share some alarming statistics. So you ask about depression, and what we find in this work, nearly 1 in 10 men suffer from depression or anxiety, but are less likely to report or seek help. Men of color are even less likely to seek treatment, and that is from the Center of Disease Control.
I feel like I just really hope for everyone to feel our work.
Wellness Recovery Action Plan.
They're holding virtual training events, even working on a movie.
As our story begins, I remember the innocence of childhood. Dear America, my name is Halim Ali. As an African-American adolescent, I remember growing up naive and innocent to the traumas of the world, naive and innocent to the pains of life. Certain behaviors, feelings, and experiences became normal and somewhat commonplace. Behaviors like fighting, conflict, feelings of depression and anger, hatred. As my environment began to change from one of peace and safety to one of turmoil, confusion, and violence, rivalry, spiritual, mental, and physical warfare, I surrendered. What I did not know at the time, that through this surrendering, a chain of events, past traumas and triggers would be unleashed into my life, which would create a whirlwind of emotions and traumatic experiences that would take almost an entire lifetime to repair, and even a longer time to heal from. That moment when the only thing that stands in between life or death is in our next decision. Triggers. Dear me, I remember a time when I was so committed to doing the right thing, walking the straight and narrow, doing my best to be a quote-unquote good boy. Man, sometimes it feels like I was forced into this lifestyle. damn, all the pressures of the world on me at once. My girlfriend pregnant, and we already don't really get along. And I just lost my best friend. Yeah, I always heard about death, but it feel a little different when it happens to you. I feel like a ticking time bomb. I don't have no job. Don't nobody wanna hire me. My mom's is always tripping. And I'm just like, don't ask me nothing, don't tell me nothing. And this is that moment when the only thing that stands between life and death is my next decision. Triggers. And no matter how far I think I've come, I'm constantly reminded of where I've been. Traumatic experience after traumatic experience. Stereotype after stereotype. Feeling like every breath I take is about to be my last one. But I keep going. I keep going in spite of all the triggers, in spite of all the stress. I keep going because that's what champions do. We don't quit, no matter how much we may want to, no matter how bad it hurts, or even unbearable the pain might be. We keep going. And this is that moment when the only thing that stands between life and death is your next decision. Triggers.
From the Heart Foundation, Dr. Halim Ali. I'm here to talk about this thing we call triggers, from inception to conception to completion. We began this journey in 2019, is when the plan for triggers was written between From the Heart and SBG Marketing. We didn't execute the plan until 2021, when we had our first inaugural event, where we premiered a mini movie that highlighted the lives of 3 urban Black youth from different backgrounds, different upbringings, to show what it looked like when these youth were experiencing life triggers and pushed over the edge, which led into substance misuse, addiction, overdose, suicide, and ultimately gun violence. Suicide and addiction, that is not the cause. These are the effects of a bigger cause.
On the corner of 36th and Forest, where the documentary we are preparing, the incident took place on this very block. 27 years ago, Jonathan shot Matthew. Leading up to today, almost 30 years later, 2021 of November, Aurora, Colorado, we were on a national public health crisis for 16 shootings in 30 days. So what does this tell us about the gun violence crisis?
They like, don't start nothing in my mama's house. I'm like, I'm good. Y'all said ain't nobody supposed to be here, it ain't supposed to be here.
Good evening. Yet these shootings happened just a few days after Aurora leaders met to discuss youth violence in their community.
America armed and dangerous. There are now some 40 million handguns.
Firearms injuries represent epidemic
of gun violence.
Join us in this campaign to reduce gun violence.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun,
another mass shooting
is
in
a
America.
good guy with
Shooting
a gun.
rampage.
316 people are shot every single day.
I went and asked somebody to help me because I didn't want whoever I was fighting against, I didn't want them to see me in the street, just laid out.
It was cool. I mean, growing up, I thought we was straight for a long time. I mean, I really didn't realize what was really going on outside of my household. Like I never even knew that people had jobs. Like I ain't know nobody work. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in my family, when I was growing up, they was in the streets. So I just thought that that's what it was. So man, I'm telling you, like, when I used to go to my cousin's house, he'd be like, his mom going to work. I'm like, work? I'm like, that's crazy. That was foreign to me. Like, you know, when I say nobody in my family work, I mean nobody. And then I really started to realize the game when my uncle went away. And I used to just sit around, and that's all my mom used to talk about. My uncle used to do this. My uncle used to do that. My uncle was this in the hood. So that became my role model. That's who I wanted to be like. Period. Nothing else. I wanted to be like Mom.
I mean, it was good, man. Like, I had everything that I needed, and most of the stuff I wanted, I saw Mom work hard to go a little extra to get for me. So.
They was set tripping. This, you know what I'm saying? This is '98. So they played that East Side nigga, West Side nigga. So everybody's throwing up their gang signs. So now I know for a fact what's really going on. So the chick's mom, she cut the music off once she started seeing everybody in their finger bang. So she like, we gonna take a 15-minute break and everybody gonna go outside. That was the worst thing you could have did, because now when I go outside, I see all the bloods. So I'm like, bet, like this is what I've been looking for anyway.
So the party was like right down here, and pulled up, I could just tell like this isn't where we needed to be. So as I'm walking up the street just a little bit to get to my car, I noticed two people in the middle of the street with their shirts off about to fight. And one of them I knew, well, I played ball with him at East. So I went to just kind of tame things down a little bit, and I could tell like it was a pressure cooker there, and I wasn't gonna make a difference. So
I'm following the whole fight, and I'm begging the homie like, man, let me shoot this cat. Just move, get out the way. He like, nah, I got it. So they get across the street, the homie knock him out, and so I just seen somebody run up on the homie. I'm like, y'all definitely ain't about to jump the homie. So now I'm fighting. But while I'm fighting, I hit dude, and he like fell towards me. He didn't fall back. So when he fell towards me, I like fell on the ground. And then I see somebody else above me. So I'm like, y'all definitely ain't jumping me. So I pulled my gun out and I shot him.
Aurora, Colorado, we were on a national public health crisis for 16 shootings in 30 days. So what does this tell us about the gun violence crisis that we have not only plaguing our nation and our state, but our dearly beloved city of Denver, Colorado?
2 shots. First one was muffled, the second one was loud, and I knew the people that I was with didn't have a gun and I didn't have a gun, so I knew we were in trouble. Person, I don't know where he went, because I hopped up really quick. People were pulling me up off him, and came over here, and then that's when I realized I had like a shirt on, and there was a hole in it smoking. So I pulled it off and I stuck my finger in the hole and realized I had been shot. I just want to be an example for my family, and hopefully they see me, because I talk about forgiveness all the time, and I'm hoping that not only have they heard it all these years and seen me talking, now they see me walking.
That began, I want to say, a road to in and out of prison, a never stopping revolving door, because I was 16 years old when I did this. So it was about that, and about forgiveness first and foremost, and the things that we have to go through that put us in a place where we can forgive one another, and the actual forgiveness that I received from him allowed me to forgive myself. And man, it was like a weight was lifted up off my shoulders at that point, because not only could somebody forgive me for harming them, and I could have killed them, but it allowed me to forgive myself for what I had in me that made me do the things that I did. After the forgiveness, the whole world was open up to me then, because I was forgiven And now I can forgive a whole, not only myself, but everything, my community, my surroundings, my family. It was like everything is open. I just felt free at that time. And I fell in love with the work because I understood at that moment that we can't continue to blame other people for our actions. We have to take responsibility in all that. We can't blame our parents for how they raised us. We have to accept the fact that their parents was raised by them, so they learned from their parents how to raise kids. And if the person before you don't know how to raise kids, you can't blame them because they're only doing what they was taught. So once I figured this out, man, I see the world differently than I've ever seen it before because now I understand.
We become a force to be reckoned with. You become a force to be reckoned with. My brother Jonathan, he's a force to be reckoned with. And it's an honor to have believed in this man, because one of the greatest things that we can do is believe in somebody and then they continue to grow, they continue to inspire, they continue to aspire. That's the true gift.
With From the Heart, I really started to know and see the difference with my mental health, and now near stable mental health through crisis. I'm able to maintain my daily wellness. It's amazing.
It's made me a better father with working from the heart, a better man, a better mentor, a better leader in the community. It made me a better person all the way around because I understand where we need the help. And it took all these years for me to get to where I'm at right now. But I swear by everything that I love that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm here.
Be a part of this legacy, of this Triggers legacy that we're creating as we move forward into a new frontier. Dr. Ali.